So I have a lot to talk about in this video, and I wanted to release this before the new update comes out. So I'm not going to talk about the update in this video. I'm just going to talk about my account. Basically, this is an account overview, and I'm just going to tell you about how I feel about this game, where I stand, how I feel about it, things I like about it, and things I don't like about it. Now, I did have a video addressing the drama, but because the new update was announced, I decided to drop that video, which sucks because that one took forever to do, but it also was a long video. So I'm not going to go into that, but let me tell you how I feel about this game now that my account is currently at level 44. Mind you, some of these things probably already been addressed, but beyond that, I'm just going to tell you how I feel. So first thing I really want to bring up, and I'm not doing this in any particular order, but I do want to praise this game on the 4-star characters. 4-star characters in this game are actually really, really good, which is very surprising. Normally I play games and then you have a 4-star character, then a 5-star character will come out and basically get so much better than the 4-star that the 4 stars becomes null and void, and you just have a team of 5 stars. But in this game, the 4 stars can actually be really good. I know in my last video, I think I read a comment saying I don't get how you will put a 4 star so high. Now, mind you, back then that's how I felt. Of course, my views have changed, but the 4 stars in this game are amazing. I love what they did. I gotta give this game a hand because I love that 4 stars in this game are not useless. Now, I do want to admit this truth. Right now where my account's at, I'm actually focusing on not only getting better equipment, I'm also trying to actually build a team by actually looking at the cards and trying to figure out builds besides just going by feel, because that's what I used to do. I used to build my teams based on feel, but I'm getting to that point where I really got to start thinking about how I build. So before, I would just pick my characters and build my teams just by the way they play and their play style, if I liked it or not. But now I'm actually paying attention and trying to build better decks. So I kind of stayed away from that for a while. But at this point of the game, because it's starting to get harder, I'm definitely taking time now to really focus on building actual character decks so they can actually work very well. The arc I'm very disappointed in because I really was hoping that there will be a lot more going on there. There's really not. Mostly all you really do is deal with your characters going through a mental breakdown or doing activities to get your energy up so you can continue to play the game and do the affinity quests. But I just wish there was more to do in the arc, basically on the arc, than what there is. So that's something I just kind of wish there was more of. I've said this in another video and I'll say it again here that I did expect the story to be a lot darker than what it was. So that was actually kind of disappointing. It's not bad, but it's not as strong. But again, this had to do with a lot of the controversy that was going on. So that was addressed. But yeah, I definitely expected the story to be a lot darker than what it was. So that was kind of disappointing to me. I don't know, maybe I was going too far in my thoughts. I don't think I was, but I was just expecting something a little bit more darker than what it was. One part of the controversy that I do want to bring up is that they said some of the game mechanics that are in the game were supposed to be more integrated with the actual lore. And I really hate that happened because, so for example, they have a mechanic where you can go back and retry a battle, like that's actually in the game, but it's just a mechanic now. But that used to actually be part of the lore, because from what I read, I guess it was supposed to be a kind of time loop storyline, and they pretty much removed it. So I am kind of disappointed in that. The one thing I wish they would add is a skip feature for a resource grind. I'm okay with like Chaos Mode not having a skip feature because that makes sense. But I do wish, like, for resources, you could just skip it, because if I could clearly beat it, why am I playing it? I should just be able to hit one button, skip the entire battle, and get the resources that I need. Or maybe you could do a thing where if you skip it, you'll get the resources that you need, but if you actually play through it, you'll get even more resources. I would rather you do that, but that's only when it pertains to the resource grind. Going back to something else I read about the controversy, which I do agree with, is that the story should be more focused around the commander. I definitely do agree with that. And if they're going to rewrite it so that happens a lot more, yeah, I think that's a good thing. But it should not come at the cost of character development or character chemistry outside of the captain. Also, I don't want characters to be sidelined either. I don't mind if they're rewritten, but I don't want them to be sidelined or becoming blank NPCs with no character. I'm totally fine with character relations and character development being done outside of the captain. And that's to me what side stories should be for, to expand upon these characters, which I think is a good thing. So that is the one thing that worries me, is the watering down of characters, which I don't want to happen. Now, going back to what I said earlier, yes, the captain in the main storyline should definitely be more of a focal point and more important to the main story. But outside of that, you use side stories and certain events to grow and develop other characters. So I just hope that they don't go too far destroying characters in this rewrite process. I do like Chaos Mode though. It's probably the best part of the game, but I do understand the fears of repetition. So I hope as the game continues to go that they will bring in additional modes that maybe can take off some of the repetition of Chaos Mode, but maybe they'll just put more interesting parts in Chaos Mode itself. So either way it goes, I'm okay with that. By the way, there's nothing about this that was confirmed. It's just I have read that some people have issues with the loop. Well, that Chaos Mode can become repetitive after so long. So yeah, I could see this being a problem in the future. That's why I addressed it. Do you know why I let that clip play out and why that clip makes me so happy? That is because that is what I wanted the mental breakdown state to be. A high risk, high reward situation, or a risk reward situation. Now, this does not have to happen all the time, and it could be something that happens rarely and randomly, but you see how Hugo attacked one of the party members? That's what I mean, and that's how it should work. When you're in that mental break state, it can be a risky thing, but it can be a really high reward, and it really depends on how your mental break is. So in Hugo's case, for example, as you see, for the most part, they won't do nothing. They'll just stay still. But like what happened with Hugo, maybe he'll attack you or randomly attack a character, whether it's an ally or an enemy. Or it could be as far as it's like a special attack and it could do massive damage and you don't know who it's going to be done to. High risk, high reward. I hope that's how this mental break state works, because there can be a high incentive to get yourself out of that state, but it could be beneficial randomly. Now, I'm not saying that's how it is, but I'm saying that's how I would like it to work. But we'll see, because that's the first time I saw that. Oh yeah, if there's one thing I hate, and I will admit this, is I hate the makeup of my crew. Now, I don't hate them as characters, I just hate that basically all the characters basically have the same uniform for the most part, where they're all, I would say except for two, they're all schoolgirls. So you have Ray, Renoa, which actually out of all of them, Renoa actually looks the best, and then Mika. And then now you introduce Haru. It's just like, I wanted more of a mixture of design characters. I didn't want the same ones. Like, put Hugo on my team. Give me Ren. Give me Cassius. Mix up my team. Give me Manga. Make a mixture of my team. Don't just make them all the same. I mean, the only difference is honestly the Doctor and Teresa. Oh, and I guess Owen, but again, he is just like another high school kid is what he looks like to me. But outside of those three, they're all basically they don't look the same, but they're all just in the same, have the same, this may be the wrong word, but the same, not aspect. But they're all in kind of the same category, and I didn't like that. I just wanted more variety of looks when it comes to my crew. Outside of Renoa, I actually like her design. So excluding Renoa, everybody else is just kind of samey, and I just want a better mixture of how my crew looks. Oh yeah, before anybody says anything, costumes don't count. And I don't hate any of these characters, it's just a personal preference thing. If you like how the crew looks, hey, more power to you. That's just what I prefer. I just like seeing uniqueness in a space crew. Of course there's exceptions, but for the most part, that's just kind of what I like to see. Now at level 44, where I'm currently at in the game, first, I finally made it to the final boss in the story, and I'm going to be honest with you, that dude is hard. I'm getting so much trouble. That dude is kicking my butt. He's kicking my butt. There we go. Because this just giving me such a rough time, and I'm having a hard time trying to get past him. Another thing I'm going to start doing, this may be the last video that I do without looking at a tier list going forward. Because I do look at some guys and some things, but I don't really go in depth because I was trying to go through the game myself. But I'm at the point where I'm actually going to start putting effort into actually starting to build my decks, starting to make my final decisions on my team comps. I think I said it earlier in this video, but that's something I haven't been doing, and I really need to take time to focus on that. Oh, also starting to grind for gear. That's another thing. So these are my 3 goals currently right now. It is to beat the final boss in story, which I'm having a lot of issues with. Finally decide on my team comps and actually going through chaos mode a lot more and trying to build the perfect deck. Or I should say decks. Also, to add on to that, doing a lot more character testing. That's something else I'm starting to do a lot more of. Now, the one thing I want to say, no matter about all the problems, all the issues, all the drama, every complaint or non-complaint I have with this game, the one thing I would say this game got right is the core gameplay. I'll be honest, I've been having so much fun with this game and playing this game so much that I've been forgetting to finish up a couple of things I'm supposed to do. That's how good it's been, and that's how much time I've been putting into this game. So much so that this game has officially turned into one of my main gacha games that I'm going to be playing in the future. Even though it did have a rocky start, and I definitely have my issues with this game, I'm going to go ahead and stick with this one for a while, for probably a long time. Because I definitely believe that this game is going to massively improve in the future. So now with that being said, I'm going to quickly showcase my account, show you how my account looks like right now, and then from there we'll go into the tier list. Oh yeah, we're doing another one like I said. Okay, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this video. I'm only going to do a quick little showcase, and that's because I'm going to be doing a more in-depth one in January, because that's normally when I do all my account overviews, but I just want to give you a quick glance. So basically, I'm just going to show you, I'm only really going to show you my partners, and I'll just go through that real quick, and then I'll show you the characters that I have. So these are my partners, just so you can see them. I guess I'm not going to go into them, but there you go. All right, so I clicked through them. Now let's go ahead and check out all the characters I have. You know what, I'll click into them so you can see. So Amir, Owen, Teresa, however you want to pronounce it, Lucas, Luke, Maribel, Cassius, Selena, Nia, Ray, Orlea, Chiron, Beryl, Mika, Haru, Hugo, Ren, Manga, Kalipe, and Maylin. this is my account so far at level 44. And now, again, I will be doing a more in-depth one. Or did I even say Cassius? Did I skip Cassius? Oh well. But anyways, this is my account at this point. And again, I will be doing a more in-depth one in January, but this is just how my account looks like at level 44. And I'm sure you saw the account level at the beginning, which I actually put it back here. And just so you know what happened, basically as I was in the middle of recording this video, I actually made it to account 45. I keep calling it 44 because I was just at 44, but as a recording of this section, I actually just hit level 45. So this just happened not too long ago. So that's why it's level 45, not level 44. That happened during this video. So here we are at the tier list section, and yes, I am doing another tier list. And after going back and I also read some of your comments and looking at that video, I think I made one mistake with that video. And that is I made a tier list where I should have made it more of an account overview. Because when I did that video, that was only a couple of days in of me playing the game. So the goal was to do that video and then do another one, which is this one, once I got to about level 40, and then tell you how I thought about the characters after playing it for so long. So this was supposed to be a reoccurring series to show how my feelings have changed about the game and these characters as I get further along in playing the game. And now I could tell you how I feel about these characters now that I hit account level 40 plus. So now outside of that, everything else still stands. So if you have issue with that video, that's kind of on you, because I told you and explained to you what that video was, and nothing has changed with this video from that last one, except for the fact that now you understand that this was more supposed to be a tier list based on progression. And just like the last video, this is not an official tier list. This is a tier list based on how I feel when playing with these characters. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and do my tier list first. And then once I get done, I'm going to compare it with an official tier list and see how far off I am compared to that one. So let's go ahead and actually see on screen. I label what each category is. So now let's go ahead and go through the tier list now that my account is plus 40. Sorry I did this list before, but I decided to go ahead and do it again only because one, I reached level 45, and also there's one character that I changed my feelings on, and I'm going to talk about it in this one. So let's go ahead and go through it real quick. I won't take too much time. But first is Ray, and I gotta put her in C tier. Now, I haven't used her enough to know exactly how she plays, but when I did use her, she was okay. So yeah, I'm not really going to explain her because I need to spend more time with her to kind of really figure out how she works. But right now she's C tier. Next one is Amir. And sadly, I had to drop her down to D. And that's only because I used to use her in my defense team, but there's just better characters where she just kind of fell out the rotation. I don't really see a place for her right now, so she's D tier. Owen, I am not the biggest fan of this character, as not due to the controversy, but of course I'm gonna put him at C tier. And again, I think Owen is an okay character. He has some okay AoEs, but I'm not the biggest fan of Owen. Next one is Veronica, and yeah, I haven't pulled her. Next one is Maribel. I'm gonna put her at B. I like that she has the counterattack mechanic. She's actually a pretty good defensive character, but to me, there's a stronger variant of her. Next one on the list is Lucas, and I gotta put him in the pool. I actually have him, I just never took the time to use him, so I don't really know anything about him. Next one on my list is Haru, and Haru, I gotta put her at A tier. That is because to me, she's probably one of the best DPSs in the game. She is very strong. She has beat bosses for me. She hasn't, her AoE is kind of and she does have an AoE attack. Yeah, to me, she's one of the strongest characters in the game. Next one on the list is Teresa or Teresa, however you want to pronounce her. I'm gonna put her at D tier. And that's only because when I used her, I wasn't the biggest fan of how she played, and I just never really gave her a chance. Although my friend swears by her and he tells me I need to use her, but I've used her. I didn't really like her when I used her at the beginning of the game, and so she fell out of the rotation, so I'm keeping her at D. Next one on my list is Luke, and Luke is also a D tier. I'm just not a fan of the way he plays. I'm not a fan of his style. I just really don't like Luke. I'll just be honest with you. I just didn't get the I don't know how to say it, he just wasn't that impactful. That's probably the best way to say it. So yeah, Luke for me is D tier. The next one on my list is Mika, and Mika, I don't care what anybody says, she is S tier. To me, she is the best 4-star in the game, and I know some people may disagree, but I think you could argue that she might be one of the best, if not the best character in the game. Now, I haven't really stamped that, but I could tell you, as I played her, every time I make a team without her, I always go back to her because when she's on my team, it's just a lot more convenient than when she's off. So, the reason for that is because she's really great at AP recovery. Actually, there's been a couple of times in this game where I've started the game because of her with 9 APs. She's that good. And oh yeah, the other thing that has to make her S tier is that you get her for free. Next one on my list is Manga, and I gotta put her at A tier. Again, she's the one I'm talking about who is, basically she is a 5-star Maribel. She has the counterattack playstyle. To me, she is stronger than Maribel. I just like her a lot more. Plus, she has an AoE where Maribel does not have an AoE. So she's actually really good. She doesn't do enough counterattacking for me, so I want to get her a lot more cards. Plus, I want to try to play her with Ren because I think that's a good mix. But I need to kind of get rid of a lot of her attacks and give her a lot more counterattacks. Maylin has to go to A tier. Just like Haru, she is the other one I would say is probably the second best, or probably the best DPS in the game. They kind of interchange for me. The only thing about Maylin is that she doesn't have an AoE, and her special isn't really an attack, it's a power-up. So, but beyond that, she has very powerful single attacks. She has ran through bosses for me. She's basically one of my main boss killers with Haru. A lot of her attacks are very low AP cost, but it also takes some time to get her up to where she can actually start killing off monsters and bosses, but she's really strong. So I would say between the two, you could go, I would actually put Maylin above Haru, only because she has a lower cost than Haru, that's why. Next one is Orlea, and she goes into the pool because I actually pulled her, but I haven't used her, so I don't know if she's good or she's bad. I have no experience with her, so I'm trying to build her now, and I'm going to test her out to see how good she is. But right now, I only pulled her. My boy Cassius, this is my guy. And now that I have him, he's an A tier. It's because he's great at drawing for cards, he's a searcher for specific cards, and he can force you to discard your hand and reload it. Those three things are key. So at times, I kind of had to choose between Cassius and Mika. I've used them in the same team, and the issue with putting them in the same team is sometimes I get a dead hand, so that's kind of issue. But Cassius to me is still one of the best, actually he is the best searcher in the game currently right now. Nia, and I said it before, she is a poor man's or a poor woman's Cassius. The thing about her is that she only has one attack card, but for me, she does a lot of what Cassius does, but just not as well. Honestly, she's actually a pretty good pairing for Ren when I've used her, but again, now that I have Cassius, for what I need her to do, I just feel like Cassius does a better job. There's one more thing I want to say that I like about her is that she does have an AoE as a special that has saved me multiple times when playing this game. Chiron has to be an A tier. Chiron to me is very powerful, has a great AoE, but the thing about Chiron, and this is my issue with him, is that he's very expensive with his AP skills, and I don't care what anybody says, there is a little bit of a learning curve when using him. Compared to other characters that I've used in this game where I could just pick up and play and they actually work, Chiron, there is a little bit more of a learning curve than I would say with most characters in the game. But if you can figure him out, he's very strong because even when I've used him, he's very strong. But like I said, the other issue is that his AP skills are just really expensive. Now, this is the character why I decided to re-record this video, and that is Beryl. Why? Because I've actually started using Beryl, and I do like her. I haven't used her enough to really know how good she is, but she does have a mechanic where she needs to hold the cards and then she builds up power for a stronger attack. And I really do like that mechanic. I think that mechanic's actually pretty good. Once I figured out how she works, I kind of realized how good she is. So to me, she has a lot of potential. I do like that delay attack. I can see it being beneficial. I just gotta use her a lot more, but as of right now, she's in B tier. Next one on my list is probably one of my favorite 4 stars in the game. Oops, okay, my fault. Next one on my list is probably one of my favorite 4 stars in the game, and that is Selena. The reason why I like Selena so much and why I'm gonna put her in A tier is because she's very easy to combo with. She actually has an AoE. I did mess up because I said when you pull a card, it will automatically attack an enemy. That's not what happens. It's that when she pulls a certain card, she marks her enemies. But I just really like the way she plays. I like her playstyle. The thing is, she's not as strong as I wish she would be, but she's actually very good to combo with. And my friend was right. Because he's the one who put me on game about her. And he's right. She is actually really good. And for me, she is definitely an A tier. Renoa. Well, you're the only other 5 star I haven't pulled yet, so you're right there. Ren. Ren is my favorite design character in the entire game, but I had to put her currently in B tier. Why? It's because of her mechanic. To me, a character like her benefits should outweigh her negatives, and to me, it doesn't necessarily do that. I feel like her benefits kind of even out with her negative. Ren can be very strong, but she doesn't have really any AoEs, and the problem is because of her mechanic, basically nobody can attack but her. And it kind of makes her a little janky to use. I've used her to one-shot many bosses and she does a good job. But as I'm getting to the higher levels and as their defense is going up, it gets a little bit more different. It gets, I don't want to say difficult, but you start to really see the jankiness in using her. That's probably the best way to say it. The issues don't really outweigh the benefits. Like I said, they kind of just even each other out, which is not good. So that's why I put Ren in B. She's a very strong single attacker, but you gotta put her in her stance, and she can't be used with anybody else who attacks. So I just want to cut in real quick because that's the funny thing about this game. As you progress, things can change, and I wanted to say this because she's a really great example of what I've said now can change in the future. Well, I've had one of my best chaos runs with Ren recently, and some of my issues that I have with her, because of how good my run was, I actually fixed some of those issues. So be aware, everything that you say here can absolutely change. And that's why I wanted to just come in and chime in real quick that things can absolutely change depending on how you build your character's deck. And I can tell you right now, Ren right now, it's definitely better for me than when I first recorded this particular part in this video. So be aware, depending on how good of a run that you have in chaos mode, it could totally change the way you feel about a character, like this last run did for me. Because I can tell you right now, Ren plays so much better from when I recorded this video. Calliope, I recently just got not too long, my fault. She was my choice and she's S tier. And I understand why. Because I did watch some videos early on and everybody said she's one of the best characters in the game. Now that I've used her, absolutely. You wanna know why? She's a Swiss Army knife. She has a counterattack. She has an AoE. She has a single target attack. Well, basically she's a vanguard, so she's good with defending. I think the only thing that she doesn't do is increase AP, probably that. But outside of that, she's basically a Swiss Army knife. I think she has maybe like 1 or 2 cards that are pretty high with AP, but there's still a way to use them where it's not a problem. Like, she just does everything really good, and she does a little bit of everything. Now, lastly, my boy Hugo, and I was 110% right. Hugo absolutely is S tier. To me, he is the best sub DPS in the game. His attacks are not the strongest, at least when I've used them, but what I call him is the ultimate finisher. He attacks with other characters. He has a poison. He's just really good. And this is the reason why, for me, he's S tier. Now, I typically had to use him with the main DPS, but sometimes when you fight different enemies or different bosses, you just need one attack, or at least one more attack to finish him off. Hugo is the one character that does just enough damage to actually beat stages, and he has definitely beat stages for me. Not only that, there's been times where I'm about to lose the game and Hugo will poison the enemy, and right before they attack to basically take me out, the poison will kick in, beat the enemy, and I survive. Hugo, by far, is one of the best characters I got on my account. I liked him in the playtest. I love him on my account because, to me, he's so much better. He's so much necessary. He actually pushes you through stages. By far, he's one of the best characters in the game. And yes, I personally put Hugo in S tier. Now, y'all may disagree, but I don't care. Hugo has been a lifesaver for a lot of my battles. That's why I put Hugo in S tier, because that dude is a beast for me and my account. This is my tier list, how I currently feel at level 45. Let me know what you think. Did I do a good job? Are there some issues here? Do you disagree? If you do disagree, why do you disagree? If some of the characters that are at bottom tier don't deserve to be there, why don't you let me know down below why they shouldn't be there and tell me what makes them good? Heck, even give me some advice. Let me know what you think is best. Tell me what I got wrong. Tell me what I got right. And make sure to explain to me why you feel the way you feel. But before we go, I thought I'll go ahead and check out this tier list with an official tier list and see how far off I am from what official tier lists say about where these characters stand. And so here we go. Here's the official tier list. And now we're gonna scroll down and see how good or how bad that I did. So let's go ahead and scroll down. Okay. So, let me... Okay, so they only did... Okay, so they have 4. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 5. All right. So I have 1 extra one than what they have. So let's see how good I did. Let's start at tier 2, which is Owen. Okay, so you see, I'm not that far off. So Owen, it was indeed. So I was right in my first tier list. Okay, Lucas. All right, I haven't used them, so I can talk. Amir. Okay, you see, I don't feel bad about my list. So Amir's right there. Okay, we agree right there. I see Maribel. Yep, I put her above. Exactly, yep. Ren. Okay, so Ren, they put above. I put Ren down. All right. Orlea, haven't used her yet, so I can't really say. Oh, Selena? Oh, they don't have her at... Okay. All right. Okay. And then Luke. Okay, so I have him at bottom tier. They have him 1 level up. So they have him basically at C. I have him at D. All right, so let's go to tier 5, and I guess I'll make this. All right, yeah, so I'll make this A and B tier. I'll put those 2 together. And let's see. Okay, Ren, pretty much agree. I think I'm pretty close with that. Manga, I think I have her in A tier. So not really topping. Nia, I have her at B tier. So yeah, I'll put him right there. Cassius, A tier. Barrow, B tier. Renoa, don't have, can't speak on. Chiron, I put him at A tier. Chiron got him. And Haru, they have her, I have her at A tier. So pretty close. I think we're pretty close in the S tier. Okay, so this is where there's a big discrepancy. It's with Teresa. It's with Teresa and Maylin. So Maylin, I have her at A tier. They have Maylin basically at tier 0. So okay, so my friend might be right, but outside of that, yeah, pretty much. I think for the most part, outside the characters I don't use, I think we pretty much agree with the official tier list. So I don't feel like I'm that far off. I think I'm pretty good. So yeah, you see, I think I'm pretty good at picking good characters. I think I'm pretty good at this. But again, this is my account at level 45, so I'll probably do another tier list either when my account reaches level 50 or maybe sometime next year. We'll see what happens. But anyways, this is how I feel about it. In the comments down below, let me know what you think about my tier list. Again, I feel pretty good after looking at this tier list compared to mine. And like I said, I will be coming back to this once my account hits level 50. So then I can compare and see how I feel about it in the future to compare to now. And by then, hopefully I'll have the new character so I can see where to put her. With that being said, let me know what you think. Again, you're perfectly welcome to disagree. And if you are going to disagree, let me know in the comments down below. And also, to leave you with one more question from earlier in the video. If you're like me and you would like to change your crew around with other characters, what would be your dream crew in this game? And you could only pick a total from 5 to 7 at the most. So with that being said, I'd like to thank y'all for checking out this video. If you made it this far, I definitely appreciate y'all. Once again, I will be doing a full account overview in January, so come back for that. With that being said, I want to thank y'all. I definitely appreciate y'all. And the last thing I want to say about this game is the one thing that makes this game great, no matter what the tier list says, most of these characters in the game can actually be really good if you just build them correctly. And the fact there's not really one clear answer, even though I gave you mine, and even though there's a tier list, still, you can make other characters really good if you just know how to build your decks correctly. And that, to me, is a sign of a great game. So now with that being said, make sure on your way out, hit that subscribe button, help me grow this channel, help me grow this brand, and help me create one of the best communities on the internet today. One more thing to note, I don't care what I say or what a tier list says, build your characters, because even now at the end of this video, my views have changed. I just got Ren able to AoE, and I just got Barrel being a draw beast. So again, any issues that you have, if you build your decks correctly, it could change your entire views, and trust me, by the next time I do one of these videos, my views are completely going to change because they already changed at the end of this one. And the next thing I'm looking into, which I haven't done a good job at, is partners.